Hello and welcome to your English language class. Today in this class we will be taking up the question answers and book exercise of the chapter Under the Fig Tree, written by Wangari Maathai. So I hope you've understood the chapter well. Okay, so the first question is, what were the Mugumo? Describe them in a few lines. So the answer would be, Mugumo were the old fig trees found in South Africa. Their bark was the color of elephant skin. They had thick, twisted branches with roots that hung down, anchoring the tree to the ground. The huge leaves of the fig trees cast a great green shady region, a canopy beneath the tree. Second question is, why didn't the girl's mother use the fig tree for firewood? The answer would be, the girl's mother didn't use the fig tree for firewood because she believed that it is a sacred tree and it is not correct to use, cut or burn the fig tree. Third question is, how does the author describe the arrowroot plants that grew near the stream? So the answer to this would be, the author described the arrowroot plants that grew near the stream as the typical crop foods. Arrowroots when cooked are starchy like potatoes and grow only where there is a lot of water. The fourth question is, why couldn't the girl make a necklace out of the frog's eggs? So the answer would be, the girl couldn't make a necklace out of the frog's eggs because each time she placed her fingers below to lift them, the jelly that held them together would break and they would slip through her fingers back into the stream. Fifth question is, where did the army of tadpoles come from? So the answer to this question would be, the frog's eggs that were there beneath the arrowroots plant along the banks of the stream developed into the army of tadpoles. The last question is, how did the fig tree's roots help water from under the ground reach the surface? So the answer would be, the fig tree's roots sank deep into the underground reserves of water. The roots sank deep into the ground, breaking through the rocks beneath the surface soil. The roots extended until they touched the underground water table. The water traveled up along the roots until it hit a weak place in the ground and gushed out as a spring. Okay, so these were the question answers. The B part is, the author in the text is speaking in the first person, as I. Using the first person is an effective way for the author to communicate her feelings and opinions to the reader. Now look at these lines from the text, match them to the feelings they try to express. Now in the box below, there are some feelings mentioned here like confusion, respect, disappointment, comprehension and wonder. Now you have to match them with the lines from the text given below. First line from the text is, I had no idea what my mother was talking about, but I obeyed her. So here the feeling is of confusion. Okay. Next is, I imagine that very few people have been lucky enough to see the source of a river. So this is, the feeling is of respect. Okay. Third is, each time I held them together, they would break and slip through my fingers back into the stream. Here's the feeling is of disappointment. Fourth is, sometimes the eggs would suddenly disappear. So the feeling here is of wonder. And the last is, I later learned the connection between the fig tree's root system and the underground reserves of water. Here the feeling is of comprehension, okay, or understanding. So the author learned or understood the connection between the fig tree's root system and the underground reserves of water, maybe in her school. Okay. Next is vocabulary part. The author uses different words to describe the movements of water. At time, the water bubbles, it falls with a splash, it quietly sizzles, or it even gushes out in force. Now, you have to complete the sentences with these words that describe moving water. Use a dictionary if necessary. So let me help you with this. First is, during the storm, the waves crashed against the seashore. Second is the land was barren with not even a trickle of water in the soil. Third is it was a very hot day. Rina splashed her face with cold water as soon as she came home. Fourth is streams of water cascaded from a great height at the waterfalls. Fifth is the motor was finally fixed. All of us cheered as the water gushed out of the tap. A little tea spilled over the edge of the teacup. And the last one is the florist sprays water on her flowers to keep them fresh all day. Okay. Next is your writing part. Do you have a special tree, lake, or any place that you love to visit? The place could be anywhere you go to think, read, play, or spend time with people you care about. Think of such a place and write a paragraph describing it. You could even mention a memorable incident that makes the place important to you. So herein you have to write a paragraph in which you have to mention any favorite place or any special tree or lake or something, the place or your favorite haunt where you like to visit or you like to spend your time with people you care about. Okay, so you just have to write a short paragraph describing that special place of yours. Next is values. Like our relationships with our parents and friends, we all have a relationship with nature. We must learn to respect nature and care for it and thus help the planet. Think of the different ways we can show our respect towards nature. Okay, you can try all these ways. First is try walking or using a bicycle instead of driving or using public transportation whenever you can. Okay, this will minimize the pollution level. Second is you could also get together with friends and clean up a park or your school playground or complex and thus help in the Swachh Bharat mission. And thirdly, you can also plant a garden if you have the space. Okay, so these are a few ways in which you can help the nature bloom. So this is it. We have completed on this chapter under the fig tree. So just do all the question answers and book exercise given here in your fair notebook and submit your homework by 3 o'clock tomorrow. Thank you for watching this video.